Hey guys, what's up? It's Mania. So, I'm here to talk about the episode that aired tonight, the new episode of iCarly, called iSell a Penny Tea. I loved this episode. It was so great. And it was also special for me because this is the one that I went to LA and saw the run-through for. So seeing all the scenes again, and my mom watched it with me, it was basically sort of like a flashback of reliving memories for us in LA, because it was so fun to see. So anyways, now, this whole episode was basically about the penny tees, the infamous shirts of iCarly that everybody wants. All the fans, we really want them, but they haven't come out in stores anywhere, at least not the genuine ones from Nickelodeon. But anyways, so the whole episode, it starts out with, basically they're on their web show and they're gonna auction off a bunch of junk. You see the fan of hammers, you see the old burned tech foots, you see this a mannequin that's wearing the penny tee, and it's Gibby's mannequin. That's a Gibby for you, right? anyways, they're basically Sam blows her nose in a pile of noodles, and then she puts them in a bowl. And Gibby and Guppy are both eating those noodles. Now, I thought that was pretty funny, but also when he was like, "What sauce is this?" I was like, "Oh, that's so disgusting." But it's funny. I laughed out there. So, so anyways, after the whole the introduction thing, they talk about deciding, they're going through what they've sold off and everything and what they see, and they see that the most they sell was the penny tees. And people really wanted the penny tees, so they come up with the idea of wanting to sell them. So anyways, so you see, and meanwhile, Spencer is he's basically hanging out with this girl who speaks no English. And when I saw this scene at the run-through, I thought it was like, "Oh, Spencer, what have you done again?" Because at the run-through, they had the girl there, and she didn't speak any English, but it was so fun to see this. But anyways, so this girl didn't speak no English, so he basically was going out with somebody who he could not communicate with at all, which was definitely, I think it was kind of funny, but just random of him. But anyways, so back to the main plot. So they decide. You've got them making the penny tees, and you've got Carly and Freddie up in their room, and you've got that Carly's Happy Dance song playing, which that probably is going to become a Freddie song, I don't know. But anyways, you've got them working on penny tees, and they've made about maybe 30 or something, I don't remember however many they made. But anyways, and then you see Sam come in, and she's got a whole flatbed truckload of boxes, and in those boxes are 30 penny tees each, and I'd say that is a lot of penny tees for Sam. That's like a lot of penny tees, because those are a lot. And anyways, so Freddie's asked, "Did you rob a fat cake truck?" And that was like so funny. Oh, and one of the earlier scenes, I love this one scene of Freddie. He picks up a knife. And this was not in the run-through, but he did say this line, but he didn't have the knife part. He's like, "Easy, Freddie. Bad thoughts lead to bad actions." And I loved that. It was so funny. But anyways. She tells her that Carly and Freddie are shocked that she's made so many penny tees. And she said they want to know how she does it. And after Freddie thinks that Sam robbed a fat cake truck, he takes her and she just grabs him and bangs him down the couch and spanks him. And that scene, the SETI spanking scene, that scene was so funny because I saw that scene in person, so it was definitely funny to see, and I was like, my bottom stings. That was so funny. So anyways, they follow Sam, and Freddie's holding his butt the whole time, which is kind of funny, I guess. But anyways, he's holding his butt, and they go down to the basement, and you see little kids, maybe in 4th graders, I think they're called. They were all making penny tees. This is Sam's method of making the penny tees. Now, first off, I want to say, I know that what a lot of people thought, this is child labor. and it's legal, and it's bad. Okay, first off, it's Sam. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna be mean, but I mean, this is Sam. Okay, this is something I would expect. I wouldn't be surprised to see her do. Okay, I mean, sure, it's illegal, but Sam's done other illegal things, so definitely. I mean, I found it kind of. It was kind of it was definitely. It wasn't a good method, but it did have discipline. It was a method that had discipline, and I'll talk about that in a minute with what I wanted to say. But anyways, so all these kids are down here working, and they're hot and they're sweating, and Sam's she's being very commanding with them. And Carly and Freddie are just like looking at her and just looking out and just like, and they're like, you can't do this. And it's like, why not? So anyways, so she's also feeding them meat, and it's animal meat. So that's funny right there. But and when the kids decide they don't want to work for her anymore, they all go upstairs. I mean, I think they leave and something. So she leaves. So she's got the can of meat. And she's like, must contain meat. She opens it up with a canister. But anyways, I'm almost out of time here. Oh my god. Anyways, I want to talk about one thing. Sam's actions, okay, I know it's a child labor, but I think Sam's method was a bit better because she had discipline in it. Okay, sure, it was child labor and it's legal, but I liked her method better than Carly and Freddie's, because Carly and Freddie's, the kids, Carly and Freddie were pushovers, unfortunately. The kids took control because they didn't have any rules. They gave them mangoes, they gave them tea, they let them have fun, play bubbles, everything. And nothing got done. Okay, I didn't see any penny teas get made like that. Okay, but Sam, you saw penny teas get made. So anyways, I mean, I want to know from you, which method did you think was better, Carly or Freddie's or Sam's method? Okay, and think about the results that came out, the penny tea results, how many were made. And think about all that happened, really, because the kids ended up turning against Carly and Freddie and leaving. So, anyways. So as this episode goes on, we see that Spencer's trying to talk to this girl and communicate with this girl. And Gibby, while they're on a date at the Groovy Smoothie, Gibby ends up intervening. And you also see that same guy from the last episode, last week. You see that same dude run out of the bathroom when Gibby comes out of the bathroom. What did he do to that guy? Tell me what you think he did. Anyways. But Gibby figures out he's got this friend who can maybe help him. But what Spencer doesn't know is this guy doesn't speak any English either. He speaks the same language as the girl. And so the two start talking, and it ends up that Spencer loses his woman. Again. Poor Spencer. The only girl I can ever see Spencer with is Sasha Stryker, okay? I'm a total Spasha shipper right there. Sasha, and Spencer. But anyways, so Spencer's lost another date. That's unfortunate. Lost another girl. Oh well, there'll be another, I'm sure. But anyways, at the Groovy Smoothie, Sam is apologizing to the kids. And I don't know if Carly and Freddie are making her or not, but anyway, she apologized to the kids, and so I'm happy that she did that. I was proud. But then, the little brats, as I would like to call them, they turned against them all and took their own business. Basically took over their business and had penny teas. And they were making them. And they had them all over the place. And it was just nuts. It was so crazy. But anyways, it was like they were everywhere. And then they were talking to the two kids. And basically they said, we got our own people. And they were these two boys who had a whole pad of made up random names, and at this point, Freddie, Carly, and Sam knew that this wasn't going anywhere, and it was a lost cause. So they got up and they left, and Tebow came over with a stick of pot pies, and want pot pie? No, goodbye, Tebow. And that's how the episode ended. And I gotta say, I love this episode, and I love it a lot because I got to experience it in person. I got to see the run through for it, not the actual filming, but actually you wanted to know my favorite Sam line in this episode that I told you about in my speculation? It's, "What's up, t-shirt monkeys? I love that line because the day I went back that morning, Sam was actually filming that scene, and she said it like 3 or 4 times. She was sucking on that purple popsicle so much, her tongue was purple. But anyways, I loved it all, and I just loved it. And I'm so glad it was so cool. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. And let me know what you think was better method. And let me know what your favorite penny tea is, okay, too? Because I want to know, alright? Rock on, City Warriors. Rock on. Yeah. See you guys later.